In 2014, we took over this building at the mill, and for a while we were looking for tunnels. Somebody told us there was a tunnel in here that went all the way to Hay Hall. We never found one, so we give up, but I carried on looking, and people said to me every day, they say, "You're not scared in that big old haunted building?" And for 2 years I said, "It's not haunted. There's no such thing as ghosts, no such thing as devils, spooks, anything like that. No such thing." And one night, while I was still looking for tunnels, banging on bricks with my hammer, got a hollow sound after, I don't know, a couple of hours. So I took out a couple of bricks. It didn't reveal a tunnel. What it did reveal is an alcove. And in that alcove, was this box, just an old biscuit tin. So you'd think, well, let's have a look. When I opened it, inside it is a book, a leather-bound book, okay, and some photographs. In this photographs, there's a soldier from the Great War. There's a family portrait of a mother and 2 children. There's 3 more photographs of the same mother, the same 2 children. There's a photograph of a police officer from the Victorian era. And there's a photograph of a judge that resided in this very room. He probably sat here in this chair in front of this fireplace, sentenced people to death. But inside this book are the stories of these people who are haunting this building to this day. Maybe not haunting, but are certainly trapped here. For example, in this book, we have Police Constable Thomas Grimshaw. He was the first known owner of this book. And he served here in Wigan from 1900 until 1930. You see him mainly in the band room corridors and in the cellar. I'm assuming he stood at the side of the fireplace waiting for a cup of tea. Now, we also have in this building, in the cells, Private Harold Salter of Wigan, who served with the Lancashire Fusiliers between 1915 and 1919. He was awarded various medals for gallantry, including the Distinguished Conduct Medal. He was captured in France in 1917 and held until 1918, and he was treated terribly by his captors. Tortured him nearly every day, put him in solitary confinement, and he suffered from what we now call post-traumatic stress. But in them days it was just shell shock, and he was prone to extreme bouts of violence. For example, on the 1st of August 1920 he was on leave, and he was drinking in the Navigation Inn on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal at Gathurst. Upon leaving the establishment, the worse for wear, he was set upon by 3 boatmen who really picked on the wrong guy. 2 of them ended up in Wigan Infirmary, minus teeth, gouges. One of them ended up in the canal. And he was arrested and he was brought here to this cells downstairs, where during the night on duty that evening was Police Constable Thomas Grimshaw. He was only a young lad, but he was on duty that night. And being locked up once the beer had wore off with Harold Salter, he sort of started having flashbacks to his time in the war. His job in the war was to go out into no man's land on his own, cut barbed wire, listen to what the enemy were doing, and report back, so that then the next day they could launch an attack and know where to do it. One night he got buried alive. A whiz bang went off, buried him alive. And from that moment, really, when he was locked in that cell, he had flashbacks to the war, and he hung himself with his bootlaces from the cell bars that night. PC Grimshaw found him next morning. He was dead as a doornail. He haunts this building, in that cell. Since I got this book, I'd never seen him. But once I got this book, I see him every day. I might see him twice a day. Might hear him, but not see him. Banging on a cell door that isn't there. Or screaming to be let out. When I go in, there's no door on the cell. But when I go in, it stops. I don't think for 1 minute I'm controlling him. However, it stops. I walk away, it starts. Maybe he knows I'm there, maybe he doesn't. Also, we have Martha, James and Eliza Mort. And Martha Mort was a widow Her husband was killed in a mining accident and she was left to bring up 2 children, twins, 7 years old. She was the cleaner in this building. And as time went on and her husband was dead, she was bringing up these children, hard work. One night, and killed the both of them. Now, they come in this courtroom. Young Eliza is either skipping or playing hopscotch. Young James just sits in the corner, playing with his wooden soldiers. And his mother Martha, she stands there. I walk in, and she just stands and stares at you. Doesn't speak. The children look round, although they don't see me. They just look round. And young James is playing with his wooden soldiers. Eliza then carries on skipping. Martha walks away. I might see them once a month. I might see the children, but not see Martha. Also, we have from this room Mr. Justice Samuel Hilton QC. They called him the hanging judge, and he served here between 1888 and 1901. It's unknown really how many people he actually sentenced to death in this room, but one morning he was found dead in this room, maybe here, maybe there, under the fire. And it's reported that he had a petrified look on his face. Who knows what he saw? Outside my workshop used to be the stables. One night I was on the car park. I don't know what I was doing, but I looked over towards the workshop and I saw a figure with 2 horses just disappear inside the workshop. Black horse and a white horse. Since I've had this book has given me the ability to find out who these people are. Stable boy Joshua Skelton, aged 15. He died of consumption, probably caused really by a poor standard of living. And the horses, White and Black Bess, they used to pull the paddy wagon that brought in the prisoners. They had to be stabled at night, and they were probably looked after better than the prisoners. Now this book, there are many, many more ghosts in this building, more spirits than I can imagine. I do not own this book. I'm only the custodian of it. No one can own it. It can't be handed down. It can't be given away. When my turn to leave this mortal coil appears, my story will go in here. This book will go back where I found it. And whoever finds it will be destined to find it. I was destined to find it. It goes back in the hole.
If you've enjoyed watching The Old Courts Live and you'd like to make a donation to support the work we do, please head over to www.theoldcourts.com/donate. This year's been incredibly difficult for most arts organisations, and we're no different. But with a huge effort and support from you and from our funders, we've managed to secure our organisation and the jobs of every staff member. We've also provided 343 artists with paid work for the Old Courts Live. And our volunteers have delivered over 700 food parcels and made 600 calls to isolated local residents. But the battle isn't over yet. We're currently closed to the public with zero income, and we don't know how long this closure is going to last. If you can help by making a donation, then you're helping to secure your arts centre. We're hoping to be around for a long, long time. Thank you.